Good morning, everyone. My name is Sergi and I'm from Barcelona, Spain. Today we're going to talking about some typical dishes in my country. Spain is a country located in Europe, concretely in southwest between France and Portugal, and this is essential if we want to talk about the traditional food in Spain. But why? First of all, Spain is a Mediterranean country, so it's typical to eat seafood in this kind of countries, and of course, Spain isn't the exception. Now we're going to talk about typical dishes, so let's begin. First one we are talking about is Paella Valenciana. Paella is perhaps one of the most famous Spanish dish of all, and certainly one of the most abused. Authentic paella originates from region around Valencia and comes in two varieties. Paella Valenciana with rabbit and chicken and seafood, for example. Saffron gives the rice its characteristic color. Spaniards only eat it at lunchtime, usually. Second one's called Patatas Bravas. In literal translation in English, could be brave potatoes. It's named for its spicy sauce, rare in land that generally avoids the spicy food. The potatoes are cubed and swallowed fried and served the same everywhere. The sauce can come in any number of ways, from spicy ketchup to garlic, mayonnaise, with dusting of pimento or both. One funny theory about the patatas bravas it's like holds that the dirtier the bar will be, better the potatoes will be too. So it's just only a myth, but I can I can say sometimes it's really true. Third one would be a dish called gazpacho. This tomato-based Andalusian soup is most famous for being served cold. This can be quite shock for those who aren't expecting it, but in the sharing heat of a Seville summer, the attraction becomes clear. Its principal ingredients, aside from tomato, are peppers, garlic, bread, and lots of olive oil. And now we arrive to fideuà, one of the most famous ones for the local people, but less well known to the tourists. Fideuà is a type of Spanish pasta. It's popular in Catalonia, the region where I'm from, and Valencia in seafood dishes that rival paella for their taste. Fideuà is typically cooked in paella dish. If we are talking about typical dishes in Spain, we must talk about the ham, or jamón called in Spain. Is the most celebrated Spanish food. Serrano ham of the mountain, for example, is the most common kind and comes from the white pigs. The more expensive Iberic ham comes from the black pigs. The best ham should be enjoyed in thin, melt in your mouth slices on its own, with a little bread. For the next one, we have another of the typical dishes. The humble Spanish omelette can be made with chorizo, peppers and onions, among other ingredients, but purists will tell you it shouldn't only contain potatoes and eggs. Nowadays are a lot of controversial things about how to do a good one. Some people try to avoid the onions, but it is an essential part of the omelette. Of course, a good one should be a little bit undercooked, however, that is each person's preference. Churros are a popular snack made from fried dough, cut into such shapes and dosed in sugar. They are typical in the street parties and they are sold there as well. Dipping them in hot melted chocolate is pretty much the law. Let's talk about for the second one, and according my preference, it's my favorite one. It's called croquetas, another typical item on tapas menu. Croquetas are tubes of bechamel sauce encased in fried breadcrumbs, but definitely more tasty than that sounds. Croquetas of ham and salt-cooked croquetas are common varieties. They are really tricky to make and are perhaps best enjoyed at tapas bar, along with a cold beer. And with this one, we arrive to the end of the typical dishes from Spain. I have to say there are more dishes to talk about, but I selected the ones in my opinion are better and more interesting for you to know. Thank you so much for your time and for listening.